leave this as a declaration of intent, so no one will be confused. 1. Sic vis pacem parabellum. Latin. The boot camp sergeant made us recite it like a prayer. Sic vis pacem parabellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. Number 2. Frank Castle is dead. He died with his family. Number 3. In certain extreme situations, the law is inadequate. In order to shame its inadequacy, it is necessary to act outside the law, to pursue natural justice. This is not vengeance. Revenge is not a valid motive, it's an emotional response. No, not vengeance. Punishment.
Hi guys, welcome to this episode of Trip Around the Multiverse with your host, the man who lives down the very spacious suit that can drive a motorcycle through it, CY Chung.
And the man who talks in rhymes for no apparent reason, never explained, Carl Charles.
And today we're having a look at the Punisher films that have been released. Dolph Lundgren's Punisher.
Yep.
Thomas Jane's Punisher, 2004.
Yep.
Ray Stevenson's Punisher, 2007, right? No, hold on.
I think it's 2000. Wait, I think you're right. I think it's 2000. It's either 2007, 2008.
Yeah, and Dolph Lundgren's was 1989.
Yeah.
Funded by an Australian company, strangely enough. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and it was released direct to video in the US. I remember reading about this in like some Marvel history book I had.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, there's a Punisher film? And then he didn't even wear the, he wasn't allowed to wear the skull, which was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
And so they had, as you saw, they had the knives that had the skull at the end of it. Because, well, it's got to have skulls somewhere, right?
Yeah, so people know they've watched the Punisher. Yeah.
Okay, let me put it this way. Okay. So which of the 3 films did you enjoy the most?
The Thomas Jane one. That's like my favorite.
Oh my no. Okay, give me your order of these films, and then I'll give you my order.
Thomas Jane Punisher. Sadly, I'd say Punisher Warzone, and then the Dolph Lundgren one.
So after rewatching these, and I like to obviously say that Dolph Lundgren's Punisher is the best Punisher, right?
What?
But Ray Stevenson I actually enjoyed more. Then I would say Dolph Lundgren, and then there's Thomas Jane. Now, my reasoning,
Yeah.
It's a Punisher film. It's an action film. Now, whether you can say you like the plot or not, right?
Yeah.
And I will say I don't. In Ray Stevenson's one where he killed undercover agent or whatever.
Yeah.
They try to give a little bit of humanity to the Punisher, but I'm like, no, that's not the way to go because you can't. Being that he goes around shooting loads of people, right? Now you're adding element of maybe he'll end up killing the wrong person, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not a Punisher fan, but I'm like, as far as the logic of the Punisher's universe is concerned,
yeah,
he never gets it wrong because if he gets it wrong, then he's a murderer himself, and therefore, he'll have to kill him. You know, he becomes a criminal.
Yeah, he becomes what he hates. Yeah.
And by that logic, he'd kill himself.
Yeah.
Right? He'd be a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think I was reading one of these Marvel editors basically saying that. He said, Punisher could never kill someone like an innocent person because if he does, he'll just kill himself.
Yeah.
Right? I could, like exactly what he said. So that's why I'm like, you're pointing out these things that shouldn't be allowed to be pointed out in the Punisher film.
Yeah.
Because he's going there with guns blazing, shooting everything all over the place. You can tell me one of these stray bullets don't hit someone in the streets, you know?
Yeah, probably, but you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't account for none of that. Like how the police is never around when you need them, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So Ray Stevenson's Punisher. Not even 5 minutes in, he's already murdering people. Yeah. Which is a very cool, by the way. I really did like the entrance scene that he had. He shanked up them people in the house, like the guards outside the house, and then, you know, all them criminals at the dinner table, he just murdered them all, sliced some guy's head off. Good start. Dolph Lundgren's Punisher. Story you say?
No, 'cause I was like,
All right, Dolph Lundgren's Punisher, yeah.
yeah,
At least right away he's going. He's shooting out people. He's causing a little bit of damage and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. And then they go to Thomas Jane's Punisher, where they had set up an origin story. Yeah. Then they have to have him heal or whatever. He come to come back, whatever. Right.
Yeah.
No. First of all, they set up his undercover story.
Yeah.
Then they set up his origin story because that's when his family gets killed.
Yeah.
And then he's got to come back and heal and set up his plan, right?
Yeah.
40 minutes in, where's the punishing?
Well, you've got to understand where he's coming from, because like if he just literally started murdering people, like, that's kind of weird.
No. This is the Punisher film we're talking about, right? Man's name is called the Punisher.
Yeah, but like I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people who don't really know about the Punisher just thinks he kills, he has he just does it. But this
well, kind
film,
of, he does really actually.
Huh?
He kind of actually does.
Well, he has a reason, like a backstory to it.
Yeah, backstory to it, but
like they try to set that up in that film. Because like
I think Thomas Jane's Punisher would be fine if they started a bit earlier from that point. Right, instead of giving the 20 minutes of the backstory where he's undercover cop or where that stuff, where he's done his last mission or whatever it is, yeah. You just cut from the point where his family is having that what's it called, and then Howard Saint goes and attacks them, and then you can use the rest of the dialogue, because that would have got you into something right away.
Yeah.
I will say this. Yeah. So I know it was based on. Is it Welcome Back, Frank? Yeah, have you read that? Garth Ennis one. So most of the Thomas Jane movie is based on that.
Yeah.
And that's fine for if you've had a long history of Punisher, and then then you have a bit that cools down, like a slow paced story.
Yeah.
But if you're setting up a Punisher film as an action film, your slow paced story kind of is not how it should be.
But I wouldn't say that's an action. That Thomas Jane one, I wouldn't say it's an action film.
I think that's where they went wrong, right? Because Punisher film, okay, my logic, right? No, is a guy with guns should be an action film, right? It's not a character drama.
Yeah, well, I prefer the stuff when he's more of a character rather than I just kill people because.
Now, let's. No, I mean you're right, but let's this is what we'll agree on. The rooftop scene in Daredevil season 2.
Yeah.
Just it captured the Punisher within the 4 minutes that scene was going on. 5 minutes scene? Is it about 7 minutes?
About 7 minutes, yeah.
However long it was, yeah. Daredevil and the Punisher basically just talking about. Well, no. I wouldn't say they're really talking, right? Yeah. An aggressive conversation, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
But you see both sides to the story there, and it kind of sets up how the Punisher's personality is there. Which, by the way, I also think we'll both agree that John Bernthal is the best Punisher, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
But that's not about that.
No.
I mean, this is not about that.
No.
Yeah. Well, okay. Okay. What did you enjoy about Dolph Lundgren's Punisher film?
Dolph Lundgren trying to act.
I think he did actually pretty well. I want to say he's the greatest actor in the world, right?
No.
But I was kind of surprised how down and out his Frank Castle was. He's like, I'd done this for quite a while now. It's been like, I don't know, it's 5 years, but in the story of the movie, it's 5 years, right?
Yeah.
But when you're 5 years living in a sewer, murdering people, like all your life is just murdering these criminals, yeah, you do get ragged pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So when you say he's like fed up with the police who are trying to stop him murdering these criminals, I'm like, wait, come on, hold on a second, just hold on a second there, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, any other bits you enjoyed there?
The whole last scene, like say the last act where he's goes to kill the Yakuza boss with the bad guy he's been helping.
Yeah.
That whole bit was just funny to me. It's like none of this makes any sense.
Yes, yeah, right. First of all, I can buy that. In the movie, I don't know if you want to say Frank is a Marine or whether it was before he was a police officer, whatever, right? All right, there's not enough backstory that all we know is that he was a cop, yeah?
Yeah.
But you're telling me somehow this criminal is equal to Frank Castle in ability. He's not a criminal. I wouldn't even say he's more of a gangster criminal.
Yeah.
I will say also that what was quite neat about this film, even though it's low budget, right?
Yeah.
So the Yakuza come and kidnap all the gangsters, criminals, right? All the mobsters, wherever they are, yeah?
Yeah.
They kidnap their children and, are saying, look, we're going to take over all your operations. They're not, we're going to slice and dice your kids, yeah?
Yeah.
And the police, the media are like, oh, these kids have gone missing, right? These criminals' kids have gone missing. It's the Punisher who's taken them. I'm like, that's actually not an illogical jump.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
Yeah, so he's obviously got
the shark.
Yeah, it's like he's got to rescue them kids, obviously being accused of kidnapping the kids himself. But there's a reason you would believe that he's murdering criminals left and right? So what's the next step, you know? Yeah. But then of course you'd say the media portrayed the Punisher as a bit of a loose cannon as well. Who in that film is like, who knows for what reason he does the psychopathic things he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember when I first watched this as a kid.
Yeah.
I legit did not know it was a Punisher film right to the end. Because there's no, like you said, there's no skull. He doesn't wear anything like makes you remember that he's the Punisher. It went to the end. My dad goes, "Oh, what do you think of Punisher?" I was like, "Wait, what? This was a Punisher film? Okay, I guess."
Well, but it seems like a traditional action film of that era, of that time, of that low budget. I want to say like straight to DVD, whatever it is, but it clearly wasn't a high budget film.
Yeah.
What it was, though, I'll give it straight. It was straightforward. The criminal, like you said, he helped at the end after he rescued the criminal's kid, right? And the criminal turns on him. I'm like, yes, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I saw it coming miles away, but criminal gonna be criminal, right? What's gonna happen at the end? Frank's hardly gonna let him walk off.
Yeah.
So he turned on the guy before he could turn on him, or he was always gonna turn on the guy anyways.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious, isn't it?
Yeah. But then the next bit wasn't obvious, where the guy's son, who Frank rescued, pulls the gun on Frank. So he's like, "Are you going to avenge your dad, and kill the Punisher, or is the Punisher going to have to kill you, or something like that?"
Yeah.
Or are you going to let him go? What? What's the deal here? Because is the Punisher going to kill a little kid? No.
No, because I think he would let little kid kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could tell he's like tired. Like, yeah. You actually would do me a favor if you kill me right now.
Yeah. You do more punishment if you let me live.
Yeah, and then when the kid didn't, you can see like upset in his face, like, oh, I've got to live another life, another couple of days. Great. Yeah.
That's acting right there.
Yeah, well, he's wanting to get this film over and done with.
Yeah.
Which I'm probably leaning more towards that. Yeah,
okay. What did you? Oh, wait. Do you want to go through the other one you didn't like, and then we'll go to the one you did like, or do you want to do it in chronological order?
Yeah, we should do it in chronological order. Yeah,
okay.
We'll go for it.
Okay. It's not that I think that Thomas Jane did a bad job as the Punisher, right?
Yeah.
I just didn't think he did much punishing for a guy who's supposed to go and shoot people all over the place. I mean, I probably could in the Punisher film. I expect a big body count. I'd probably count the amount of people killed with one hand.
Well, he killed the whole family.
No, he made them kill themselves. Oh yeah, no, at the end, yeah. Sorry, no, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
He wiped out the whole crime family, so he killed a lot of people.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, okay. Yes, I know he set up bombs and stuff like that, right? But if I had to say, if I the people that I saw him kill, then the numbers drop.
Because he killed quite a lot of them on the island as well.
Oh yeah, okay, it's true. But he wasn't the Punisher then.
No, but you still.
I'm going to give myself the technicality because you're right. Now I'm thinking back to it. I'm like, yeah, he actually did kill quite a bit of people.
Yeah, he's killed. Yeah. Because like me personally, like I kind of said before, I prefer this sort of interpretation, and then John Bernthald's one later on, because it's just like any other two, just like a guy who kills. You know, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, and he happened stance. His family died, so he kills people. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great.
But yeah, no, go on.
And then like this one, it kind of shows you why he started killing people. Like, you know, getting your whole family genocided, like, sort of would make you turn to an alcoholic murderer, in a way.
Go on.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I just like the whole long con bit, not long con, but long drawn out bit to where he just goes to kill everyone. Like, he sets up the whole family to, like, sort of implode, and then he just picks off the rest. I like that bit.
I have to say there were some bits I did like in this film. Harry Heck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this film is kind of weird in certain places when I watch it logically, right?
Yeah.
So Frank Castle sets up shop. Oh, you know, he in this hotel. No, I want to say hotel, motel, whatever it is. Yeah, this
some weird block of flats.
Yeah. Which only has about 3 residents for some reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I say that because there's stuff going on, loud noises and stuff, and then you don't hear nobody else in the block do anything.
No.
Yeah. And is there a diner downstairs? Because that's where Rebecca Romage's working, right?
Yeah. Well, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Harry Heck comes in there with his guitar case, yeah?
Yeah.
Sings a little bit of a song of basically Frank Castle. I know you're the Punisher. I know you're right in front of me, and now I'm gonna. We know that I'm gonna murder you. Except that's not gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
And then when Frank leaves, the guy drives the car into him, and then Frank gets the upper hand and shoots him. I'm like, what? What was that about?
Yeah.
That's like the most theatrical intro to set up the tension, and then nothing. Then an anticlimactic finish.
Nah, he shot him with a shotgun. That's very climactic. You know? The money shot. Bang.
No. He threw a knife into him. Right? He shot him.
Oh yeah. He threw a knife at him because he tried to reach for a shotgun or something. Doesn't he? Then
No. So Frank rolls out the window of the car because it's upside down now, and Harry Heck's like, "What do you do, Frank? You can't do nothing to me." Frank pulls out a pocket knife, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "You're a jabroni, Frank. I have to walk all the way over to you on the floor hurting."
Yeah,
for you to stab me.
Yeah.
Right, and then Frank presses the button on the knife and it shoots Harry Heck in the throat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's yeah.
But like, I kind of gathered from that whole scene, the setup and stuff, that him and Harry Heck have met before.
Yeah, some sort of history or something like that, right?
So I kind of thought that's cool. Well, okay.
Yeah, nothing. There's nothing much going on there. As in, nothing much. He was there, and then he doesn't really do much, and then he's gone. And I'm like, all right. So, I mean, could have done a bit more with him.
Yeah.
Okay. This also, there was something prior to this that I did like as well.
The Kevin Nash fight.
No, that's afterwards. But I was going to get there. But something. Oh yeah. Rebecca Romage's boyfriend. Not that she got beat up by him. But that's what I'm saying. I'm like, right?
Yeah.
Who's causing trouble in the house? The fat dude and the guy with the piercings.
Yeah.
The skinny guy with the piercings that's trying to tell them to
try to stand up for him.
Yeah. And then they just kind of get shoved off, and then Frank's like at his door. Just leave them alone, man. And the guy just tries to scrub up to Frank, and Frank's like, "You're a jabroni," just a head. I think he punched him, disarms him, and then shoves him off.
Yeah.
And then later on, and then you see Rebecca Romagen in her inside the flat, just all really really scared because, but Frank's done something that's great. And then later on, they do a little callback where the guy with the piercings says, Frank, can you help us? That guy's menacing Rebecca Romagen again.
Yeah.
And then, so he gets ready. He gets ready to have a little ruck.
He gets ready to murder.
Yeah. Walks in the room and they're like, "Surprise, Frank! We just want to have dinner with you and stuff like that." And he's like, "All right." And he just basically eats his food and leaves. I'm like, "All right, okay."
Wow, Frank, you're Great with people. Wow.
But yes, the Kevin Nash fact, which what I found, okay, it was funny, right?
Yeah.
I found it comedic, but I was like, I don't know what the tone of this film is. That's the problem. Because it was a funny fight, right?
Yeah.
It was not meant to be taken seriously at all. But not even half an hour ago, this man's family got murdered.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, it was like a couple of weeks ago. But
oh yeah. But half an hour in the film, roughly, right? Yeah. But I enjoyed that. Kevin Nash didn't say much. But comedic stuff like Frank's just so he throws a grenade at Kevin Nash, and Nash just bats it back at him.
Yeah.
And then he has to jump in the bath to
so not get exploded.
Yeah. And then because it caused a little bit of an explosion, the other people in the hotel, motel, wherever, they're singing, miming to music from a gramophone. So when the explosion happens and there's a little skip, they just put the LP back in and they start continuing. I'm like, what? And then when the music hits its peak, Frank goes flying through a window or a door or something like that. I'm like, all right.
That was quite funny.
Have you read you haven't read Welcome Back, Frank, the story that this is based on, right?
No.
Okay. He has the 5. So you know what Kevin Nash's character is called in this?
Yeah, the Russian. Yeah.
But do you know that because of the movie or?
Because of the movie, and then seeing him later on when I dipped in and out of reading Punisher books.
Yeah. So he's called the Russian. He's dumb muscle, right? But he's extremely dumb muscle. And the fight is kind of a bit comedic because it's a Garth Ennis comic, right?
Yeah.
What his jokes is how he throws the oil in the guy's face, just like in this, right? The fat dude, he's not that fat, right? Here, yeah, but he's even fatter in the comics.
Yeah.
So I think he throws the oil in the Russian's face. Russian goes down. I think Frank then knocks him down with something. Then he trips the fat dude over on top of the Russian.
Yeah.
And then he lies, and then because he's all beat up, he lies on top of the fat guy.
Yeah.
And he basically smothering the Russian.
Oh wow.
And the fat dude's like, Mr. Castle, we've been on this guy. I mean, when can I get off this guy? We've been on him for about 10 minutes. Frank looks at the fat dude and says, "Give it another 5 minutes." and when I say Frank looks like guy, he's like Frank can barely move because he's so beat up. So he's just like he don't want to get up. He's just like, yeah, let's just lie. I'm like, all right.
That fight is pretty. Frank gets like thrown about like a rag doll, and it's like, oh, dude, I would have stopped by this time if that was me.
Yeah.
But you kept on going. You got thrown through a wall a couple of times, didn't you? Yeah.
And I for some reason I was like, oh, I wonder if they're going to do the fact I finished this time. But no, he throws the oil in Kevin Nash's face and then he spears him downstairs and breaks Nash's neck.
Which I liked.
Yeah. I was like, okay, I suppose. Yeah.
But yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But I was like, oh, okay, so we get like takes ages for him to get to Howard Saint and then punish Howard Saint and then say, oh, this is not about revenge, this is punishment. I'm like, all right, well, I mean, took a long while for you to get to punishment bit of it,
Yeah, man, it was the best. I really enjoy it. I don't know.
I did like the music though, the musical score. Gave these old school Western vibes to me.
Yeah. Because like, if this was just straight up, just like say he didn't do all like the sabotaging the family to make Howard Saint think his wife's cheating on him with his main henchman who's gay and all that stuff. Yeah. If he just went at him just killing everyone, I don't think the film would have been the same. Like, oh, this is.
Well, I tell you what, the movie would have been like. So okay, if we started from where I said started, where Frank's family's getting killed, right? Yeah. And then he comes in guns blazing. This movie will only be 20 minutes long. Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
The fact is, this movie is like 2 hours long.
Yep.
Probably didn't need to be that because, come on, you got to get to the punishment. Yeah. Did you watch the extended cut?
I don't know.
There's an extended cut where you would know once I told you.
Yeah.
You will know if you watched it or not.
Okay.
It's like a comic book scene at the beginning. to set up Frank's further backstory when he was
Yeah.
in Vietnam or something like that.
Oh, then
Like a motion comic or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you didn't see that at the beginning of it, you probably didn't see the extended cut. I didn't see the extended cut either, but you know, I don't want to say it's necessary or unnecessary, but if it has got action in it,
yeah.
I mean, I suppose it was like him in Vietnam or whatever, but that probably make a bit more sense. What do you think of how they tweaked his origin, where he's an undercover cop?
I didn't mind that. It made more sense.
Yeah.
Like for this day and age, it makes more sense because you can't really do him being in Vietnam because.
Yeah. Sorry, I did. Yeah. No, what I meant was though how his family got killed, like the reasons why his family got killed.
Oh yeah, I didn't mind it. It made again kind of more sense for his family to get killed.
Yeah. And, well, I prefer the version where he's like random, like okay, he's a soldier or whatever, right? But he's at the park with his family, and he just happens upon them criminals.
Yeah.
And then obviously he's trying to help his family get away. The criminals mow them all down in front of him. I think it just makes it a bit more like.
Yeah, I agree.
Once he has he continue his revenge, you know, like
here
it seems like once he's finished, once he's got Howard Saint and done and dusted,
doesn't need to do anything else, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Whereas the other one is like his vengeance, his sparks his vengeance for I will destroy every single criminal I ever encounter because of this one incident, you know?
Yeah, because like if I reckon it could have worked in this film if this film was. Like, how you get from feeling from the film, like, it's a one and done sort of film.
Yeah.
Like, if it wasn't, like, to do sequels of sequels, then yeah, I think the whole in the park family get killed sort of thing could have worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any other bits you want to point out before we move on to the next one?
Quick question, though.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've watched the Daredevil TV show. How did his family die in that again?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Right. Yeah. It's not. Okay. Right. As far as he knew at that point, I think it was randomly in the park, right?
Yeah.
Because it was in the fun fair, right?
Yeah.
But then it turns out it wasn't.
Oh yeah, because his best friend kind of double crossed him, innit?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
But by that point, he'd already been like punishing people all over the place. So he's already set it. So whether you can say, even if he resolved his issue, he's still going to continue because he's already on that path.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just couldn't remember. Let me ask. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So Ray Stevenson's Punisher.
Mm.
Okay, what didn't you like about this? Okay. What did you like about this?
The same things I didn't like about the film, if that makes sense.
All right, is the over the top deaths, yeah.
Yeah.
Which are funny, but also I can see how if you're looking at it from, is this film meant to be serious? Because like I said, he kills an FBI agent. So you're like, all right, so they kind of go for an actual undercover FBI agent. They're going to go for an actual drama, like some sort of drama to it.
Yeah, but no.
But then you bust out a heat-seeking missile to kill a man who's flipping around with parkour, and then you see his like body blood spray like a mist all over like the sky.
Yeah.
All right, and then the next scene after that, right? One of the other parkour guys just comes flying down the building onto spikes, right? Shunk, and then Frank drops a knee from wherever he was, right? Just a flying like knee drop, breaking this guy's neck, and then he lands on the ground and just dusts himself off. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot in this film. I was like, a 12-year-old wrote this, right? Because like a lot of it makes no sense. Like the thing, actually, I can tell you why when I stopped liking this film. Instantly, I stopped liking it. When Jigsaw goes, "You can call me Jigsaw." Like, yep, I'm done.
Okay, so I have to say, I like Dominic West just reminded me of when he was the handsome Jigsaw.
Yeah.
I can see that vein over the topness, but he wasn't over the top. It wasn't acting over the top. He was acting a bit hammy, yeah.
Yeah.
But once he turned into Jigsaw, yeah, that's all about I'm gonna be the Jack Nicholson Joker in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, but you didn't kind of. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the action in this movie.
Yeah.
I did like how also there's some bits where you're like, oh, the reason he gets away is there's the Punisher task force, which is one guy, right?
Yeah.
Who's also in on it with Frank.
Yeah.
So,
Frank. Yeah. That bit was annoying me as well.
Yeah. Let's see. How he threw Dominic West into the bottle grinder.
Yeah.
And then he switched it on, and then somehow Dominic West miraculously survived.
Yeah, but just his face got scarred.
Yeah. They used a horse skin or whatever to regraft it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For whatever. But yeah.
Like I did like the inclusion of Microchip. I thought that's pretty cool. He's in it.
I like. Oh yeah, we'll get to the end of that in a second as well, because I thought that was quite neat.
Yeah.
But with the face-off in the hotel, like, okay, so Jigsaw walks around New York, wherever they are.
Yeah.
And he says to people, yeah, I'll pay you a lot of money. He says to these, the criminal families, like, first of all, we're going to trap the Punisher in this hotel. We're going to lure him to the hotel, right? I'll pay you all of you, yeah? Don't worry about that. But the thing is, we want to get rid of him, yeah? So we make him come to us. There's like 1 million of us, and there's only one of him, right? Well, that's actually a decent plan. But you have to walk around with the America's recruitment music, the flags waving in the background. I know it's meant to be a parody of army recruitment, but at the same time, it's just like,
Yeah.
But I thought that hotel shootout thing was going to be a bit more wild than it was.
Yeah.
I did like the cops' plan though, Colin Salmon's plan, to get one of the crime families who were double crossed by Jigsaw to also go in there.
Yeah.
And then they basically start wiping out everyone on the ground floor. But he just, as a cop, he sent these Italian criminals to death, essentially, against other criminals by baiting them with Jigsaw. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But like you're saying, with Microchip at the end. So you had the family of the dead FBI agent. Looney Bin Jim, who's Jigsaw's brother, is going to shoot the kid. Jigsaw's like, all right, you got to choose. I'll shoot Microchip. All right. Or if you save Microchip, then Looney Bin Jim will shoot the kid. And Punisher's like, right, what do I do? And Microchip's like, all right, fine, I understand. You know, there's only one choice to be made.
Yeah.
And then he's like, all right, and he brings his infrared to Microchip's head.
Yeah.
And he said, don't worry, friend, you won't feel a thing. And then he moves his gun and shoots Looney Bin Jim, and Jigsaw shoots Microchip. And then Jigsaw just gets a beat down.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But I thought it was neat that obviously there's going to be consequences when you're dealing with situations like that.
Yeah.
Like live lethal situations. Because you, as being the Punisher like that, right, are going to be murdering people. And people are going to come back in extreme force as well.
Yeah. They're going to let it slide, are they? No.
Nah. But I have to say some of the shaky things was Ray Stevenson's accent.
Yeah.
On and off. Well, I don't know. He does growl, but I don't know how much on and how much off was. And Colin Salmon is usually good, but his accent was...
Yeah. Normally, it depends, really. Some things his accent's pretty good, and sometimes it slips. And, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Probably depends on how much he's getting paid, if I'm honest.
All right.
What was the other funny thing in this film? When he punched the guy's face off.
So there's some kid, right? One of the sons. Yeah. Well, I don't know. He punched his face and caved it in. Strangely enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds a bit wacky. But and a bit over the top as well. And at the very end as well, where he's with his Punisher task force buddy. The guy's talking to Frank Castle. Somehow Frank Castle does a Batman, and while the guy's talking next to him, right?
Yeah.
Goes down the stairs. He's gonna get mugged by some biker-looking guy.
Yeah.
With a gun, right? And the guy and the Punisher task force guy is like, Frank, I need some help here, Frank. And then you see Punisher walk back from where he decided to disappear from, right?
Yeah.
And then the screen goes black. There's a gunshot. I'm like, wow, this Punisher. I mean, fair enough. Like, your friend's being threatened, right? I'm just gonna assume you headshot the biker looking guy, because yeah. Oh yeah, no, because the Punisher Task Force guy at the end goes, damn, now I got blood all over my face. So he blatantly killed that guy. But it's like, you could chase off the mugger, or you could shoot him in the leg or something, right? No, I'm punished. Even though I accidentally killed an undercover FBI agent and blatantly did not learn my lesson, I'm just gonna go and start killing more people again.
Yeah.
Like, what was the point then of that story?
There wasn't any point.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why like this film is a bit okay.
If he indirectly got the guy killed, fair enough.
Different story. Yeah.
Yeah. But he blatantly shot the guy.
Yeah. They come back from it, really. No.
And then how they patch up at the end is after he rescues the wife. The wife goes, Frank, stop. Thanks for rescuing my kid. You know what? Me and my husband used to have arguments about you. He was on your side of the equation. I'm like, yeah, but he just got murdered by the Punisher. So he got killed. He didn't get murdered by the Punisher. He got killed, but yeah. All right. So story wise, okay. You're saying Thomas James had the best story, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
It kind of went up it's just really weird. That film kind of suited the film style of that era in cinema, if that makes any sense.
All right. Well, I have to say, probably story wise, here's the thing, right? Story wise, I don't know. I mean, I would say Dolph Lundgren is the most straightforward story. There's not really much to it. Look, okay. I think if you got Dolph Lundgren's Punisher story and built more around it, it could have been the best. It could have had the best story. I think all these are surface level stories, except for, like you're saying, 2004 Punisher tries to do a bit of an origin story and to ground him a bit more, but I think it took too long to get to the action. That's my attention waved.
Okay. I get where you're coming from with that.
Ray Stevenson's Punisher tried to inject actual drama into it, but you can't have that in a Punisher film. That's why I'm like, by the logic of the character of the film, the Dolph Lundgren Punisher is the most straightforward Punisher of them all. You know?
But
strangely enough,
the thing with me with the Dolph Lundgren one is, like, that could be any film.
It could also have been yes. But then again, let's put it this way, right? All action hero films.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Are basically like I'm not saying, of course, they're imitation or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But just be like, you go in there, shoot up all the bad guys, and don't care about them because as an action hero, you don't, right?
Yeah.
That's what the Punisher is. So, you know.
Well, he's not, but that's how he's sort of been portrayed.
That's true. It is true.
Lately, because a lot of people who say, "Oh yeah, I like the Punisher." Oh, tell me something about the Punisher you like. He kills people. Like, there's actually more to him than that. But all right.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, he's really a complex character. But
yeah, I like the how he is, right? Is from the comics version. Well, especially when Greg Rucka seems to write him, is look, I'm doing this shit, yeah.
Yeah.
So as for all you people that have these things like your family member got killed, but anybody filled with vengeance, right?
Yeah.
Let me do it so you don't poison your system with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like a self-sacrifice sort of thing, like a noble kind of dude. Except the Ultimates version. The Ultimate version seems just to be like, I'm just gonna go murdering around because I enjoy it. It seems. I'm a psychopath.
I was sad at first, but now I enjoy it. Yeah. Sort of.
Yeah. And then obviously now I'm a criminal, but in my head I'm in denial. Whatever.
Yeah. Which is, if they delve into that a bit more, then it could be good, but they won't. They can't because that universe doesn't exist anymore. But yeah.
All right. Okay. Okay. You cannot deny, right, that Ray Stevenson had the best Punisher costume.
Yeah.
Who do you think? Okay, but who do you think more suits the look of a character that you would expect the Punisher to be? And I'm not talking about costume. I'm talking like poise and posture and all that kind of physical charisma. You know how like. All right, who looks the most lethal out of all these people?
For me, it'd be a tie between, like, again, I can't see Dolph Lundgren as Frank Castle. Just doesn't make sense to me. I guess it's a tie between Thomas Jane and Ray Stevens, Because like if it's kind of older Punisher, Ray Stevenson fits it.
Yeah.
If
I
it's
I do like that he looked like he's been at this for ages.
Yeah. And he's like one day away from retirement sort of look for him,
Yeah.
And the Thomas Jane one, if it's young Punisher, him sort of starting out, he kind of suits that.
I will say this, right? Thomas Jane did add bulk to himself, and he looked kind of like. But as far as the character goes, I think he was a bit more lax than the other two Punishers.
Yeah.
But if I got all them Punishers together to fight in a three-way fight, I'd probably bet on. I mean, the Dolph Lundgren Punisher looks like he's been a few rounds, and he don't mind like if it's his final fight. That gives him a bit more of an edge. I would, he looks like a guy that I'd probably be like, man, he seems like maybe he don't mind the dying as well and taking me down. Like I was like, nah, forget him. I don't want to fight a guy like that. He's got that look,
Yeah.
Even though Ray Stevenson, I think, looks more lethal, Dolph Lundgren's like, I will fight till the end because it's probably like I've been fighting till the end for years now.
Yeah, he's waiting for that end.
Yeah. Which makes it worse because he's not even trying to survive at some points.
No. He just wants death.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, what? Any other things you want to point out?
Trying to think because.
What about the other cast characters? Like the main villains then?
I hated Jigsaw and Looney Bin Jim. I found them very offensive.
Okay. When you say you hate them, you don't hate them as characters, right?
No.
You think that how they were portrayed, you just
didn't like.
Not heel heat, right? They don't have heel heat with you.
No, just
they have
like,
go away heat.
You're just trying to be offensive to be offensive. Yeah, and over the top just to be over the top.
Yeah. That's why. I mean, that's what I got kind of from them. Is like I can't. You're not serious enough for me to take you seriously as threats to the Punisher.
Yeah.
Even if you're going to say you're crazy versus his murderousness or whatever it is, yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing like on the flip side that makes me think that you guys might even survive these encounters whatsoever.
Yeah.
I will say Dolph Lundgren's Punisher did have a gauntlet at the end where he's fighting ninjas and whatnot, ninjas and samurais and whatever they were. Yeah. Oh, you didn't like it? I'm saying Dolph Lundgren ran a game of death.
Like, okay, I don't know why logic popped into my head at the scene. It's like, there's no way, as trained, quote unquote, he is.
Yeah.
There's no way he's taken on ninjas and samurais. There's no way.
Yeah. All right.
When he gets beaten up by some like jabroni crime boss near the end, you know what I mean?
Well, no. He had okay. I'm put it this way. Yeah. If you're a jabroni crime boss who's not trained in anything, right, other than to shout at your not even your troops, right, shout at your lower tier minions to tell them what to do, you're gonna avoid the fight as much as possible, right?
Yeah, I know.
All we see is Punisher fighting, right? This guy could have hid in the corner and then decided to pop out at the very end. All you see is him walking. I don't think you see him do much. Walking down the hallway, maybe putting a shot here and there and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, if I was him, I'd get Frank to do all my work for me, and then I'd turn on Frank at the end, which he did. I expected him to, and I'd be kind of disappointed if he didn't.
Yeah, but then he kind of like beats up Frank, and like, so you could take on ninjas and samurais, but then this dude.
Oh yeah, but
was able to get upper hand on you.
Obviously, these films aren't realistic. Then
no, of course.
But I'm gonna say, even in wrestling, right? When you go for a gauntlet match, you get tired. Yeah. So at the end of it, even if you're fighting some random jabroni, there's no training whatsoever, he's still gonna be fresh while you're beat up and hurt, and gassed and tired and the low endurance. Even though in every martial arts movie, right?
Yeah.
In every action movie, none of this matters because somehow the hero is as fresh as he is at his peak, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But nowadays they don't really do that. But Yeah, I could say this Punisher was ahead of the game in realism to some degree.
Yeah, some degree.
Well, yeah, no, it's not. I'm just joking.
You know, because you got the guy who had to end everything in rhyme. Yeah, you know, he grounded that film so much.
Oh, dear.
Didn't get that.
Right, and so how do you think of Howard Saint as a villain? Would you say his wife was more of a villain because she set off this? She kind of, to be fair, Frank. Okay, the police kind of set off the story of the events because they shot the son down, right?
Yeah.
Why go after Frank specifically?
I got that they went after Frank because they let Frank into his family and everything, got to know him, and then he betrayed them.
Yeah,
so
okay.
that's what it. Well,
no. Yeah, no. What I mean is, right? So you dealt with Frank, yeah?
Yeah.
Why don't you would have eliminate everyone else involved in as well? I don't mind. Frank's the first person you go for. Fair enough, right? But when you eliminate everyone else that has part of that chain,
yeah.
But they just be like, well, we're gonna get Frank Castle and that's that. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. But what we might not know is they could have went after him, the other people during the time he was like recovering. But
because he's not the main character. Because they're not the main characters, no one cares about them apparently, right?
Yeah.
But the wife was like, yeah, kill them all, kill the family. Don't kill, make him watch when it's the family. I'm like,
yeah, she was evil.
Yeah, but the thing is, you would have expected her to get more of a comeuppance then.
Yeah, you would have, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I mean, like, it's different. And not to say Howard Saint needs to be a man bitch or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
But it's just along the lines of, fair enough. At this point, though, he's saying kill the man, kill Frank Castle, right?
Yeah.
And then she's saying escalate this stuff.
Yeah.
Then you kind of automatically take over being lead heel.
Yeah.
In some respects, yeah, because it's like you're so much more cold-hearted, you know?
Yeah.
Man, like, Howard Saint, Tom Travolta just wanted revenge.
Yeah.
And then
she
he wanted
wanted more.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She just like completely made everything unnecessary.
She really did.
Yeah.
But then she does get a comeuppance when they throw it, when she gets thrown onto the train tracks.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. All right, fair enough. Frank doesn't know that she said to do that, right?
Yeah.
So he's taken out on Howard Saint, right? Because he assumes the leader of the gangsters, or the mob or whatever he is going to be that the crime boss is going to be the one that giving the orders, yeah.
Yeah.
But and obviously you can't have Frank it's like slapping around a lady, even though she's the one basically said that murdered all his family and stuff like that. Yeah, but you would expect, kind of in a way, that to get a satisfactory ending, he'd need to have revenge on her.
Yeah.
Except that he takes that on Howard Saint, even though Howard Saint just nodded, kind of. I don't want to say it. He's the unfortunate victim of this and that and the other. But just like the wrong person got kind of punished more-ish.
Yeah. Well, equally, to be fair.
Yeah. Well.
Because she didn't die knowing, but her husband killed her, so that's kind of
exactly.
Way. Yeah.
Yeah. I did. There was some nice bits in there, but it's just like Punisher. You got some long, elaborate plan, right? You did a long, elaborate plan to punish people, and I'm like, dude, right? You're the Punisher. Don't start planning things out like you're the master planner, right? Yeah, like you're Vincent Mann. It was you're the what's it called?
The higher power and all that.
Exactly. I mean, you don't need to do that. You're the Punisher. You go in there and murder people.
Yeah, but it shows that long-term punishment is more effective, I guess.
Well, I know dead people are dead people at the end of the day.
Yeah, that is true. Dead people are dead people at the end of the day.
No, but that's the logic of the Punisher. I'll kill you. You're dead because you.
Yeah. But I guess they were trying to go away from that stereotype that everyone knows that he just kills people and he's a Punisher, sort of thing.
Like I said from the beginning, even though you disagreed with me, the best Punisher film is probably The Purge 2: Anarchy.
I would even.
It's not. It's okay. It's not a Punisher film, right? But if you
Yeah.
just pretend Frank Grillo's the Punisher, yeah.
Not really. Well, even
Look,
then,
he
he's
dressed
doing it for
like
a selfish reason.
No, he dressed like the Punisher, right? He got a dust coat like the Punisher. He's trained like the Punisher. He's basically the Punisher, but not the Punisher.
Yeah, but
and I say yes. Okay, fair. You're saying he's for selfish reasons because that person killed his family, right?
no, just his son.
Yeah.
Yeah, accidentally. Yeah.
Yeah. Because of Purge Day, he wanted to get his revenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he decides not to do it at the end. I'm like, oh, okay, that's how you do the character growth thing. If you're gonna do like, if you're gonna be like, oh, he killed someone in an accident, like the Ray Stevenson one,
Yeah.
and be like, I'm gonna end up just as bad on the flip side, even though he's killed several people on the way. But they had their main heel as well, that guy who's with the minigun just murdering people on the Purge. So, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had all them other people in the all the rich people as well, in their ivory towers watching the Purge night, going, yes, you guys murder each other for money,
While we get rich.
No, but I'm saying they created enough people. Even though I wouldn't say Frank Grillo's Sarge was the main character of that movie. There was enough peripheral characters around to do stuff with that. You're like, I gotta side with this guy. He's not. I mean, he's killing people, right? But then other people are trying to kill him. They set the scenario enough of that you root behind the right people.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's not really. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not a Punisher movie, but
yeah, I can see some similarities.
Yeah, in my mind, it's basically a Punisher movie that's not with the Punisher, as we do these things.
No, I just see it as a revenge. Like, his reason to kill that guy is kind of stupid. Right, the guy accidentally killed his son. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
But all the grief and all the whatnot. But no, it's the Purge night as well, where you're allowed to do it. So, I mean, you can say that the system's in a folly, but that's the story that's set up.
Wait, his son died in the Purge?
No, his son died in the car crash, right?
Yeah.
And then because it hit Purge night, Frank Grillo's like, well, if I kill the guy who killed my son on Purge night, I won't get prosecuted for it. Here we go.
Yeah, still a bit.
But obviously it's not as simple as that for him, because he's like, should I? He's going through mental issues. Don't put it that way.
Yeah.
He's not.
He's going through grief.
He's not 100% locked down. I'm going to murder this guy, right? Yeah. So when it comes to court, he doesn't. But but these Punisher movies, I mean, I can't.
Mixed bag. They're a mixed bag. That's what made me.
Well, yeah. I mean, depends on what flavor of Punisher, what flavor of movie you're after. If you want over the top comedic stuff, I don't mind. By the way, I don't mind how over the top some of the stuff was in Ray Stevenson's Punisher, right? But I did mind Jigsaw just hamming it to the max on it, because it's like, at least if they played everything seriously and everything going around you is a bit over the top. Yeah. Fine, because
it is what it is. Yeah.
But as long as you're taking it seriously enough, it doesn't make the movie any less entertaining.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren's, like I said, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty standard. You know what you're going to get with that, right? People are going to get punished, and criminals are going to be criminals, and Frank Castle's going to be Frank Castle punishing people.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Thomas Jane's one, like I said, I mean, I got punished for 40 minutes of the movie waiting for him to punish people, so I don't know how much.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I get why they feel that way. I'm like, try something different. Give it some.
So the guy with the piercings in the comic book, he had piercings all over his face.
Yeah.
And he pulled every single one of them out.
Ooh,
them criminals. Ooh. Yeah. You know how he had about 3 piercings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
In his thingamajigs of his eyes.
Yeah.
And on his nose. Yeah. So in the comic book, when they pulled every single one of them out, his fist next time you see him just wrapped up in bandage, like it's like he's got a mummy face, and it's like, So he did a serious thing here, by the way. He did sacrifice his all his facial features to not tell you where the Punisher is. And then you come up with a mummy face and make me laugh. And it's like, it's a bit tonal shift, you know?
Yeah, so, okay, sure. I guess, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all right. You're going to recommend, of course, Thomas Jane's Punisher, yeah? For the people to watch. I would probably recommend Ray Stevenson's one, though I'd probably say maybe fast forward scenes with Jigsaw when he turns into Jigsaw. But have you seen Punisher Dirty Laundry?
Yeah. I really like that.
Yeah. I at the end of it, like this is a short movie of Thomas Jane's Punisher, right?
Yeah.
And it basically just starts off with a pimp beating up one of his hoes, right?
Yeah.
And doing stuff they shouldn't be doing, of course. And then coming back and starting menacing more people because then people are just going to do that, right?
Yeah.
Ron Perlman in his real mystery man, but with Thomas Jane, in the laundrette washing his stuff. And he's just trying to ignore the stuff that's going on because he's had a long day because he's waking up in the back of his van.
Yeah.
And then it just starts escalating because this pimp just slapping other people and menacing little kids and stuff like that, as you do because you're so over the top. No, but it's just like they play it serious though. So when I say he's menacing kids and whatnot, I mean not just willy-nilly. He is willy-nilly doing it, but it's just not comedic way.
Yeah.
And he got Punisher then goes to buy a Jack Daniels or something like that.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman's somebody got to put those. See, all them people causing all them trouble. Someone's got to do something about it because they're just getting too much. These streets used to be wherever they used to be, but now you got these louts and whatnot. And Thomas Jane just picks up his
bag,
his brown bag because you know the reason for the brown bags, by the way.
What, in America?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can drink on the street without getting arrested.
Yeah. So we don't know what you're drinking from. There's a brown bag over it, yeah.
Yeah.
It could be a Coca-Cola or whatever, right?
Yeah.
As long as we don't see it, we don't need we don't need to know.
Which is it's so broken, but yeah.
No, but at the same time, if they're not being too rowdy, the amount of paperwork can go through the people that aren't drunk, right?
Yeah.
Then at the same time, like you're saying, when people are drunk, Anyways, gets his brown bag, throws the bottle at the guy's face, and here's the thing, right? Movie bottles and real life bottles.
Yeah.
Throw a bottle in a guy's face, a glass bottle, a thick Jack Daniels bottle, right? You're going to concuss the dude probably, yeah? And it's not going to shatter, right? Movie bottle, you throw it, it probably breaks, but there you go. Movie, like we were saying ages ago, in a movie universe, a car crashing or something, it will set itself to flame. So
yeah. The slightest crash, yeah.
Yeah. He gets the bottle, beats up a whole bunch of dudes with the bottles, cracks this guy's leg, I think, cracks his other leg with it, yeah? Breaks his other arm. And he's just like, oh no, sorry, hold on. Was I over the top? Did he just break his leg?
No, I think you're right. It's been many years since I've seen it, but yeah.
Yeah. And then he pours the bottle of Jack Daniels over the dude. And the guy's begging for his life. He's like, do you jabroni begging for your life after all the stuff you've been doing? Right? But Punisher then puts a light on, sets it on the ground. He walks off. The hoe from earlier on, the prostitute from earlier on who got beats and other stuff. She picks up the light. He's like, no. And she sets the guy to flame, right?
Yeah.
And then and Punisher, and then little kid comes out. Little kid goes, "Oh, Mister, you forget your washing. Here you are," right? And it's the Punisher T-shirt. I'm like, okay. Yeah. But technically speaking, now Punisher, right? Technically speaking, this woman, okay, fair enough, that guy deserved it, yeah. But this woman murdered the guy now, right? Sent him to flame and murdered him in front of you. If all criminals are equal, you've got to murder her as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like Punisher. That's why I'm saying Punisher logic is broken.
Yeah, it always has.
Because you can't pick and choose who you decide is criminal or not if you're going to say that all fall under the same umbrella. Even if you're going to say do it for righteous reasons, which he is as well. But then he doesn't like being called a killer and a murderer by the cops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay. Right. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, Yeah. So yeah. Okay. When you first watched these films, was your opinion exactly the same as when you as they are now?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Mine roughly as well. I have to say as well. Mine roughly as well.
Yeah, I thought it would change, but I think over the years I liked. The only thing that's changed, I think I started to like the Thomas Jane one a lot more. That's about it.
Right. It's kind of more exactly as I remember it, where it's got memorable stuff in it, but it just takes too long to get going.
Yeah.
For my taste, yeah. Whereas the other ones get going a bit faster, but Dolph Lundgren doesn't have the best story or anything like that. Even though he's got a variety, like even though he tries to, it's the Yakuza from the '80s, like he was in Showdown Little Tokyo and stuff like.
Oh yeah.
You know. Yeah. And the Ray Stevenson ones were just more like, we are non-discriminate. Criminals are criminals, and he's going to murder all sorts of different criminals. It doesn't matter where they are, who they are, where they're from, all that stuff. I'm like, all right, fair dues. Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, that's what I can say about that. Should we sign off then?
Yeah, I just gotta say, I still need to watch season 2 of Punisher.
It's not as good as season 1.
Yeah. Because I wanted to watch it, but then I think halfway through, that's when he's... No, just before it came out, that's when he's like, yeah, we're not doing the Netflix stuff anymore. I was like, this was the point.
There is one of the female bad guys who's quite a solid, like, not villainess, but, you're like, oh, she's a decent threat, right? I mean, it's one from episode 1, but you're like, usually you expect these people just to be minions, but this lady is back for more. Most of the time. And then it's going to sound strange, right? But somehow, some way, the power of God, right? The power of the Lord is capable to give you, I don't know, optimal superhuman abilities somehow. But you'll get that when you watch it, right?
Yeah.
It's like something to do with these religious people, and you're like, right? I mean, this guy here can take a lot of damage just by the power of God allow him to, it seems. Okay.
Yeah, well, it's probably got something to do with some entity that is in the Marvel universe.
No. It's a Punisher. No special superpowers in this whatsoever.
Oh, well, once they retcon it after Disney Plus.
Yeah. But when you see, you understand what I mean. It's just like, okay. I mean, I understand the Punisher can take a lot of punishment, but, we're like, all right.
Yeah, I reckon season 3 will come out at some point.
Yeah, but season 2 is not as good as season 1.
Yeah. Season 1 was good.
Yeah, season 1 was pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. So that's that is that'll be us signing off, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I'm the man who says that the live in the sewers and pray in with no clothes on. Somehow as well, when it got shot, right, he did not get infected by any of the dirt and bacteria in the sewers or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm the naked dude who prays by some vigil I've made in the sewers that the guilty must be punished by. Sometimes I pray to God. Whatever. Anyway.
Wait, what?
When he starts, he's like, "Oh, sometimes I speak to God and ask, why God, why me?" Or I don't know, some nuttiness, right? And he's like, "Oh, yeah, and then the guilty must be punished." But yeah, that's me signing off. See you on, Sean.
And
I tried to do, by the way, the whole spiel they did at the beginning, but I couldn't remember word for word, so messed up.
That's all right. And I am the guy who fell into a vat of broken glass and got my face cut up, but managed to survive. But only my face was destroyed. Carl Charles. That's so stupid. And thank you for listening to us talk about Frank Castle's live-action interpretations in long feature-length movies. Let us know what you thought of the Punisher films, if you've seen them, and let everyone know that you agree with me that the Thomas Jane Punisher is the Punisher, because it is. If not, it's your opinion. I don't really care, if I'm honest. Let us know in the comments, or if you're watching this on YouTube. If you are listening to this in the audio realm, drop us a tweet or a Instagram message. Let us know what you thought. Also, keep an eye out on our channel because lots of good stuff is happening there. And until next time, guys, I'd like to thank you all for taking a trip with us around the multiverse.
Bye.
Bye. I will punish you.
What?
Come on, God. Answer me. For years I'm asking you why. Why are the innocent dead and the guilty alive? Where is justice? Where is punishment? Or have you already answered? Have you already said to the world, here is justice, here is punishment, here